Hello ladies and welcome to Women with Fire Coaching. This is Connie Benjamin and I am so grateful to be with you tonight. I am so grateful that you're here because I think you're amazing. You could be doing so many other things in this life. We have so many things to do, and yet you chose to be here. You chose to be on this call and to be looking at wherever your life is at right now, having a desire to make it even better. And so I think you're incredible for that. Now, today what we're going to talk about are some things that are really ground level, basic, awesome stuff in building a foundation to win the power, to win from within. We often talked about that there really is a battle going on, and there truly is. And of course, we know that it's that battle between the lion and the hyena, and that part of ourself that is, trying to, that hyena or that part of ourself that's trying to keep us stuck and to keep us in a place of safety, or so the hyena believes that to be, really comfortable, not changing, that kind of thing. And the lion, which is trying to empower our full potential, our true self, help us to reach a higher level than we think we're capable of sometimes. And so there's that constant battle going on within us. Now, we know that and we see it, and yet in the heart of day to day, when things are crazy and there's conflict going on with partner, or there's conflict going on with your kids, if you got kids, or with friends or family or customers or whatever it is, it gets really hard to win that battle within. And especially as well when we feel like we're being pulled to do something and we're constantly thinking, am I enough? Do I have enough capacity, ability, skill, money, time, you name it, to be able to do what I'm inspired to do? And so we have to understand how to win that battle within. And today what we're going to talk about are some game-changing things that help us to be able to win that battle within, no matter what's going on. Now, I need to be very clear and very upfront. Does this mean that you will be perfect and you just apply these few simple steps and you will be forever and ever totally perfect, never mess up? No, you won't. If you mess up, I've got good news for you. It means you're human. That's good, because I do not coach aliens. I just need to say that up front. It just means you're human, man. It means that's part of the growth. That's part of our experience. That's actually part of why we're here. So it's okay. So now what am I talking about? What is that thing that is foundational at helping us to be able to win the battle within? Well, it's something that Brandon Broadwater talks about quite often, and if you've been to a 3-day event, you know how much he talks about this and how important it is, because it really is that thing that can shift everything. It colors our perspectives. It colors what we believe is possible. If we see an opportunity, it colors how we see that and if we believe we can do it. I am talking about our state of mind. Our state of mind can shift everything for us. Now, I love listening to stories. I am a story junkie. I'm a story junkie. I love listening to stories. So I listen to stories through books I read, through podcasts I listen to. And if I'm talking to someone, whether it's somebody I meet on the street or somebody I'm doing an interview with, I'm constantly curious about their story, about what's going on for them. And the thing that I have noticed over and over and over in talking with people that are very successful, and for a time I was actually interviewing successful women from around the world and asking them about their stories. And the thing that came very striking to me about the theme of those conversations is that their ability to manage their state of mind, no matter what's going on for them, was one of the biggest things that made the difference. And I'm talking women that, have insanely successful companies, women that have done incredible charity work, women that have gone through very, very difficult trials that we can't even imagine going through. It always comes back to state of mind. So that poses the question then, how do we manage our state of mind, and what helps us to really be grounded no matter what's going on? Now, of course, Brandon talks about this, and he talks about this principle that is so powerful in changing our state of mind. And as I go through this, I encourage you to please do not estimate how powerful this is. I have seen this one principle save people's lives. I've seen it empower people to go through the most insane, pain you could experience in your life with no medication, and this is what allowed them to do it. I'm talking about the pillars of state, and as we go through this, I'm going to be sharing some of the stories behind some of those comments I just made. Those are some bold comments. This principle saved lives. It helped people endure insane pain. Yeah, it did. So if it did that stuff, can it work in our everyday life? Yeah, it will. And we'll go through some of those stories. So what are we talking about when we're talking about the pillars of state? Well, if you remember, this is just a quick reminder. If you remember, we've got one of the pillars of state. Do you remember what it is? You remember? Okay, one of them is this, our focus, what we pay attention to, where our focus is. Another one, do you have it in your mind? Are you going, oh, I know what it is, Connie? Okay, another one is this, body. And the last one, of course, is this, meaning. So what the meaning that we give to things. Now we know that there's more than just this. We know that it stands on a firm foundation, something that I am very, very, very grateful to higher laws every day for, that it stands on a firm foundation of being in alignment with higher laws principles. And one of the blessings or the incredible gifts that we get from doing all of these things and managing our state of mind is this, the Heavenly Guide. And just a quick note that, man, I didn't know about this stuff before I came to the Master Power Within event. And when I learned about these different pieces, it really did shift everything for me. And especially the Heavenly Guide, knowing that there really is this spirit, this part of the Creator, the universe, that is speaking to us, giving us direct inspiration, and allowing us to move even closer towards our potential was, mind-blowing for me. And as I've done these things, as I've, been striving to be in alignment by doing this stuff, I have experienced a lot of the Heavenly Guide in my life, and it really does make life an adventure. I can't tell you how many times I wake up in the morning and all of a sudden I'm thinking, oh, I gotta contact this person. Oh, I need to text this person. Oh, what if I did this? Those ideas, those thoughts, those inspirations, especially in the morning, first thing in the morning, that's Heavenly Guide. We need to listen to that stuff, because the thing we need to understand is it's not this huge, there's no, big letter that goes across by an airplane, one of those little billboard things that goes across with an airplane, notes from the Heavenly Guide. It's these ideas that come to our mind, that first inspiration. We need to follow that. That is direction. So how do we be in a state of mind such that we can hear the Heavenly Guide? Because it's been said before that if we are in places of, if our state of mind is in a place of contention, anger, resentment, all those feelings that are normal but also kind of holding us back, if we're stuck in those feelings, we can't receive inspiration from the Heavenly Guide. So how then can we manage our state even when life just gets super crazy, so that we can still receive inspiration, so that we can still move towards our potential? Well, obviously it's the pillars of state. So today what we're going to do first is we're going to dive into body, and why body is actually the fastest way to manage state of mind. Andy Benjamin, my awesome husband, pointed this out a little while ago, and it was so incredible when he said this, and I thought, oh my gosh, that's so true. Why didn't I see that before? He said that the quickest way to change our state of mind is through moving our body. Now that is so true. There's a couple reasons for that. And why is it important to know that? Well, it's important to know that because when we feel like we're in a funk and we start feeling sad, resentful, overwhelmed, stressed out, all those things, it can be very, very hard to think, Connie, how can I change my focus? What new meaning could I give to this situation right now? And I'm using that crazy tone of voice because that's kind of what it feels like in that moment. Your endorphins are just kicking in. You got cortisol floating through your body because you're stressed out. And so we are not thinking the same way when that's happening. Our body and our mind is actually physically different. And there is research supporting that that our brain, we're actually thinking with a different part of our brain. I'm going to go into that a little bit more when we get to meaning, but just know that we are thinking differently. And so it's very, very hard to shift once that's happened, once that we're in the midst of that. So we need to understand that if we can be preventative and move our body first so that we can get things like endorphins going through our body and get things like changing our state of mind quickly when something happens, then we can be more in the driver's seat. So one of the biggest things that is incredible with managing state of mind through body is having rituals every single day that support that. Now, I cannot tell you how many people I've talked to that have said that one of the most game-changing things in terms of having success, doing what you want to do in this life, is having a routine. We need to have a routine to be our best self. Now, it's not just any routine, right? It's a routine that is lifting and strengthening and empowering us. We can obviously have tons of routines that are actually holding us back, keeping us from our potential, not empowering at all. Or we can have routines that are lifting and strengthening us. So we need to be aware that and conscious of what routines am I putting in my life? Because the reality is when we do something for 21 days, there's some controversy about that. Some people say it's 21 days, some people say it's a little longer. But when we do something for a set amount of time, it becomes something that we do naturally. It becomes part of our ritual and our routine. Now, and as Brandon talks about, Brandon Broadwater, he says that routines and rituals are the drumbeat of our life. I'm going to say it again because, oh, it's so good. That is such a good phrase. I love it. Routines and rituals are the drumbeat of our life. And that is so true. It's what connects one day to another and that consistency. And so we need to understand, are we putting these rituals and the routines in place in such a way that it's empowering our body so we can manage our state of mind? Well, I know I have been, and that is not something that I've always done. But since I've done that, since I learned this stuff, oh my gosh, life is so much more consistently better. And it's because I'm starting off my day in a way that's empowering body. So what are some rituals and some routines that we can do to do this? Well, any ideas? If you've got any ideas, put it in the comment box. I'd love to hear from you. Of course, some of the things that come for me in my life that have been so important is, well, a couple things. One is exercise. Every single morning, exercise. And it doesn't matter what it is. The thing about exercise is oftentimes, I've talked to really successful people, and when I talk about, ritual or like routines or rituals and talk about exercise in the morning, sometimes I can kind of hear them go, because even though we know it's important, not everybody is doing it. And I've certainly experienced that in my life where I knew it was important. I know I want to take care of my health. I know I want to feel more energy. And yet life just gets crazy. And then the day goes on. And if I don't get it in the first thing in the morning, it doesn't happen. We need to understand that this is actually something that if we get it in first thing in the day, it's more likely to happen. And we're going to benefit the entire day from it. So the other thing I think we need to understand is that sometimes when we think exercise, there's so much pressure on women to look a certain way. Oh my gosh, I'm hearing my 10-year-old daughter start talking about, concerned about body image and that kind of thing. And it is freaking me out because I can't believe that at such a young age, these ideas and these concerns are coming to us as women. They are, and as young girls, but they are. And so we need to be aware of that. And I think one of the things around exercise is sometimes we feel like it's an all or nothing, or it has to go big or go home. And that is so not true. That is so not true actually with anything, but especially with exercise. That actually if we take something that we love to do, or even not if we love to do it. I do lots of exercise that I really don't want to do. But something that is doable, let's say that's doable, and we do the small things consistently, that is what creates results. It's those small, consistent actions that lead us to where we want to go. And we've got to understand that, because sometimes it can feel like, well, I got to work out for, an hour every single day, and it's got to be super intense. I got to go to the gym, and it's got to be, this and this and this. And we've got this idea about what working out or exercise means. And it doesn't have to mean that. It means whatever you want it to be. It means whatever is important for you, and whatever is going to work for you, and what is going to actually be doable for you. So for some people, maybe that's a 15-minute walk every day. And that's fantastic. That's great. That's exercise. Does it get the body going? Check. Does it get those endorphins flowing? Check. Are you outside? You're gonna feel happier? Check and check. It doesn't really matter what it is. If it's a workout video, if it's going outside, going for a run, going for a walk, doing stretching, doing yoga, whatever it is, it doesn't really matter as long as you're consistent with it, as long as you keep doing it and it's doable. That's what really makes a difference. That being said, if you really want to tone up and you really want to, whatever you're trying to work on, be even healthier in certain ways, obviously there are some ways to be more effective with exercise. And certainly I found having a coach with that is really, really awesome, because they know how to sculpt the body. I have no idea how to sculpt the body, but when I work with a coach, suddenly I start seeing muscles that I go, oh, I didn't even know that was there. That's super cool. So, that being said, there's that as well. The point is, are we getting it in? And are we getting it in first thing in the day? The next thing that is so important with body, and actually this thing affects the rest, it affects the meaning and the focus we have, oh my gosh, is so simple. You can do this in 2 minutes. You can do it in 3 minutes. You can do it in 5 minutes, however long you want, but it can be done in as little as 2 minutes a day. What if I was to tell you that you could be less stressed, more excited about life, more grounded, more peaceful, less likely to fall into contention by just doing something for, let's say, 2 minutes every single day? That's a pretty awesome return on emotional investment, isn't it? So what am I talking about this? I am talking about meditation. Meditation has huge impacts on the body, and we need to understand it's so easy to do and it's so easy not to do. And same with exercise, there's some myths about it. Sometimes we feel like, okay, well, I'm gonna meditate, I gotta be on top of some beautiful mountain, and I gotta know the exercise, I gotta know the deal, I gotta chant some mantras, and maybe be, I don't know, having a yogi instruct me. That is not true at all. Meditation is simply a way of relaxing the mind, relaxing the body, and focusing on what is right in front of us. Usually it's our breath or a comment or a phrase we're saying over and over. It does not need to be complicated. It can be while you're doing dishes, just breathing in and out, counting your breaths. It really doesn't have to be complicated. For me, because I really don't know how to meditate in a very fancy way, and I'm not interested in finding out. I'm just not interested in investing that much time doing it. But I do know that there's so many stats about it decreasing stress, increasing productivity, and actually changing the way we think, because it lowers the cortisol, it increases our ability to think creatively. And so it's worth it to me. So I just take my phone, I set a timer for 5 minutes, put it beside me, and I just breathe. I count my breaths, just count my breaths in and out. And it doesn't really matter how you do it. It matters that you do it. And if you need support in doing it, there's cool apps as well. Headspace is a free app that you can get, or on YouTube, there's tons of meditation, short videos and that kind of thing. So check it out, see what's around you. The point is to be able to use our body to be more in state of mind. And meditation is one of the ways that we can do that. So, my question for you is, are you doing this stuff? Are you doing these things? Now, of course, there's one more that I gotta talk about, because we could exercise and meditate all we want, and if we're doing this, it's gonna be way hard. It's gonna be hard to manage our state of mind as well. Of course, that's nutrition. We need to watch nutrition and to be aware of our bodies, what feels right to our bodies and what doesn't. Oh my gosh, Health Fix, Brendan Broadwater's releasing a product called Health Fix, coming out not long from now, and I am so excited about this product because I don't know if you know this, but I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease, and so I've become very curious and hungry to learn about the body and how to heal the body and what to do. And so the research, that the thing that he's coming out with is so in alignment with everything that I'm learning about how to heal the body. And so I'm so excited about this product. But anyways, that's total side tangent. I just get really excited when cool stuff comes out. But the point is to manage nutrition in such a way that you can be feeding your body in a way that lifts your energy, helps you to manage your state of mind. And of course, we know if we're doing things like taking a lot of sugar and that sort of thing, that changes our brain chemistry. It makes it a lot harder to manage state of mind. So we need to be aware of that stuff. And by the way, side tangent, it is totally possible to, have awesome treats without having sugar. I love treats. Treats are my favorite. In fact, chocolate is my favorite. And because of my condition, it's not healthy for me to eat sugar or wheat and that sort of thing. And so I've really had to change the way that I eat treats. But I really want to say that it is so possible. I eat chocolate still, I eat brownies still, I still eat pie and all that sort of thing, but I do it in a way that it's like healthier ingredients, so it's not harming my body. Total side tangent, I just love that stuff. But anyways, so we talked today about pillars of state so far, and we've talked about body and how important body is in managing state of mind. And so my question for you is, what are you doing to shift your body, to set up those rituals so that you can manage your state of mind through your body every single day? What are you doing now? What's working? What could be working even better? What routines could you put in place so you can manage your state of mind through your body even more?